Ever notice how the quietest guy in the room often holds the most captivating story? That's not just a coincidence. While alpha males compete for the spotlight, soaking in praise and attention, there's another kind of man who thrives in the shadows. A man who doesn't just avoid recognition, he chooses invisibility. These are the Sigma males, enigmatic, elusive, and masters of remaining unseen. But their preference for staying under the radar isn't just some introverted personality quirk. It's a conscious strategy, a deliberate way of moving through the world, one that shields them from unnecessary noise, social traps, and the emotional obligations most people willingly walk into. Here's a quick personality test. When you walk into a crowded room, do you instinctively scan for a quiet corner or move toward the energy? Drop your answer in the comments and see how it compares to others. So the real question becomes, why do Sigma males hate being noticed? Why do they avoid the very kind of recognition others crave? The answer runs deeper than a need for privacy. It's about control. It's about autonomy. And it's about freedom, the kind most people can't even imagine. Have you ever observed someone who blended into the background, yet somehow felt like the most aware person in the room? What did you notice about their presence? Let's step into the mind of the Sigma male and uncover why being noticed is something he avoids at all costs. Reason number 1. People talk behind their backs. Gossip is as old as humanity itself. Whether it's whispered in ancient marketplaces or blasted across social media, people have always found pleasure in talking about others when they're not around. It's a bonding ritual for some, a way to feel included. But for Sigma males, this ancient habit carries a very different weight. You see, because Sigma males don't play the social game like everyone else, they tend to attract curiosity, and curiosity quickly morphs into gossip. Their silence, their independence, their refusal to overshare makes others uncomfortable. And people don't like what they can't label, so they speculate. A coworker might wonder why he never joins the after-work hangouts. A friend may ask why he goes quiet for weeks at a time. Acquaintances might misread his calm as arrogance, or his solitude as emotional distance. The truth is, Sigma males are often misinterpreted, painted with whatever brush the onlookers find convenient. Aloof, cold, mysterious, antisocial. Psychologist Nicholas Imler, in his study on social reputation, emphasized that gossip isn't just idle chatter. It's a tool people use to manage uncertainty and enforce group norms. When someone, like a Sigma male, doesn't conform to those norms, gossip becomes the group's way of trying to understand or control what they don't fully get. But here's the twist. The Sigma male sees it all. He's incredibly observant. He notices the whispers, the glances, the sideways questions. But unlike most, he doesn't let it rattle him. He doesn't respond to gossip, doesn't try to clear his name. Why? Because he knows something most people don't. No matter what you do, people will always talk. So instead of bending to perception, he stays loyal to his path. And ironically, it's this detachment that draws even more attention. The less he shares, the more people wonder. His absence from social media, his selective appearances, his unwillingness to broadcast his personal life, these things only deepen the mystery. And mystery, by nature, invites curiosity. Reason number 2, they're hard to target. While rumors may circulate around them, Sigma males have one distinct edge. They're nearly impossible to pin down. This isn't about being paranoid or secretive. It's a natural result of how they operate. Like a creature in the wild that blends with its surroundings, the Sigma male's quiet presence becomes a kind of social camouflage. He doesn't draw attention. He doesn't seek power. He doesn't play the game. And so, he doesn't become a pawn in it. In competitive environments like corporate offices, this trait is invaluable. While others get pulled into drama, alliances, and power plays, Sigma males remain on the outer edge, watching, analyzing, staying clean. They're not threats to power-hungry alphas because they're not even playing the same game. And because they don't seek approval, they're also less vulnerable to manipulation. Even socially, manipulators and energy leeches tend to ignore Sigma males because they don't give off the scent of desperation. They're not validation-seeking. They're not approval-hungry. They're self-contained, and that makes them a frustratingly poor target for people who thrive on control. Compare that to more attention-hungry types, especially alphas, who draw fire simply by being visible. The Sigma's low profile becomes his armor. And yet, that armor doesn't make him cold. It makes him free. Sigma males aren't antisocial. They're selectively social. They don't avoid people. They avoid noise. They don't reject connection. They reject expectation. They're not hiding because they're afraid. They're hidden because they're focused. Alpha males thrive in the spotlight. They draw power from visibility, commanding rooms, attracting crowds, and using attention as a tool for dominance and influence. It's like watching a lighthouse beam across the sea. Bold, bright, impossible to ignore. But Sigma males? They move differently. Picture a stealth ship, silent, precise, nearly invisible, yet fully in control. It's not that one path is superior to the other. They're just different strategies for navigating life's social terrain. Where the alpha uses visibility to open doors and gather followers, the Sigma male relies on subtlety, moving with intention and maintaining his freedom by flying under the radar. Reason number 3. Less visibility means fewer social obligations. Being difficult to spot often leads to a hidden perk, escaping the weight of unnecessary social obligations. In a world where every connection can come with an unspoken expectation, that freedom is priceless. Think about the last time you felt roped into something you didn't really want to do, like attending a distant relative's wedding or your coworker's birthday dinner. You went, not because you wanted to, but because it felt like the right thing to do. Obligations like these pile up for people who are always on the social radar. But Sigma males? They experience this far less. By keeping a reserved presence and only saying yes to interactions that truly align with their values, Sigma males naturally filter out the noise. They're not constantly looped into every event, every chat group, every outing. It's not because they're disliked or antisocial. It's because they're deliberate. This filtered approach gives them back what so many others sacrifice. Time. Time to pursue their passions. Time to focus on what feeds their soul. Time to deepen the bonds that truly matter. Of course, Sigma males still maintain real relationships and meet responsibilities, but their social calendar is curated, not crowded. Reason number 4. Being in the spotlight pressures them to act inauthentically. There's another layer here, closely tied to what we just discussed. Attention doesn't just bring visibility. It comes with invisible strings. Expectations, roles, scripts. When someone is frequently noticed, there's often a subtle social pressure to behave a certain way. Smile more, be louder, lead the room, follow the unspoken script. But Sigma males don't fit that mold, and they won't pretend to. They deeply value their authenticity. So when attention starts to pull them toward artificial roles, it feels suffocating. It's not that they can't perform. It's that they won't. They'd rather remain in the shadows than contort themselves to fit a spotlight that demands performance over truth. That kind of constant pressure to entertain, to lead, to conform drains their energy. It's like wearing a mask that never quite fits. And for Sigma males, that mask becomes unbearable over time. They'd rather be misunderstood in silence than praised for being someone they're not. Avoiding attention isn't about being shy. It's about preserving their soul from unnecessary strain. Imagine a rare plant that doesn't bloom in direct sunlight. That's the Sigma male. His strength grows best in the shade, where authenticity isn't traded for applause. Reason number 5. Too much attention makes them uncomfortable. Now here's a key distinction. Sigma males don't avoid attention because they're afraid of it. They avoid it because it disrupts their natural state of being. Imagine standing in the center of a crowded room with everyone expecting you to perform, lead, or reveal something personal. Some men thrive in that space. But Sigma males? They'd rather watch from the edge. Their comfort comes from observing, not entertaining. It's not social anxiety. It's boundaries. Sigma males have a deeply rooted respect for privacy and an even deeper sense of control over what they choose to reveal. Excessive attention feels like someone trying to peek behind a curtain they never opened. It forces them to expose parts of themselves before they're ready. And that discomfort is real. These men live inwardly. They reflect. They observe, and they speak when it counts. But when too many eyes are on them, that reflective process gets interrupted. They're not built to be spectacles. They're built to be thinkers, creators, quiet forces of clarity in a world obsessed with noise. Sigma males usually feel more at ease watching from the sidelines, quietly analyzing what's happening around them, rather than standing at the center of attention. When all eyes are suddenly on them, it disrupts their natural process of observing and understanding the dynamics at play. It's not that they can't handle attention when it's called for. They certainly can. But unlike those who chase the spotlight or find energy in external validation, Sigmas don't crave that level of visibility. They can step forward when their values or goals require it. But that move is always intentional, not driven by a need for applause. Their preference for staying in the background fits seamlessly with their independent nature. When they aren't being constantly watched, judged, or evaluated, they feel free to act on their own terms, to follow their internal compass without the weight of outside expectations. And for Sigma males, that kind of autonomy isn't just a preference, it's essential. Reason 6. Being unseen gives them more freedom to move. Sigma males aren't just avoiding attention, they're creating space. This freedom they value so deeply isn't about physical movement, but about navigating the world, socially, emotionally, and professionally, without resistance. Think of it like being the quietest person in a crowded room. No one's expecting anything. No one's in your way. You can move how you want, observe as you please, and act when you're ready. In professional environments, this low-profile approach shields them from the chaos of office politics. They're not caught in the web of constant social obligations or power games. Instead, they focus on their goals, build with intention, and avoid wasting energy on the drama that surrounds high-visibility roles. And socially, it gives them complete control. They can engage when they choose and disappear when they need solitude, never bound by expectations to show up constantly or be on for everyone. This isn't a way of hiding. It's a strategy. By not being the focal point, they remain agile, free to change direction, evolve, or dive into new interests without being questioned or scrutinized. They choose their path and move on their own timeline. Reason 7. Staying low-key helps them avoid unnecessary conflict. Let's face it, many conflicts don't happen because of real problems. They start when egos get bruised, when someone feels outshined or disrespected. Sigma males avoid this altogether by refusing to play those social dominance games. It's not about avoiding confrontation out of fear. It's about being selective with their energy. These men don't jump into every argument or waste time in petty rivalries. Whether in the office or in friendships, they steer clear of drama, preferring to watch things unfold rather than get entangled in ego battles. This doesn't mean they won't stand their ground when something truly matters. On the contrary, because they speak up so rarely, when they do, it carries weight. People listen. And that's real influence. Not loud, not constant, but potent when it's time. In a world full of people looking for the next reason to be offended or to flex their social power, Sigma males operate in silence, conserving their strength for situations that truly deserve it. Reason 8. They guard their personal lives carefully. Now here's something that really separates Sigma males from the crowd. They value privacy, not because they're hiding something, but because they believe not everything needs to be shared. In an age where oversharing has become normal, where people post every thought, mood, or moment online, Sigma men choose to keep the most important parts of their lives to themselves. It's not about secrecy. It's about sovereignty. They may have social media, sure, but you won't see them updating it every time they eat, feel sad, or go on a date. Their personal world is sacred, and not just anyone gets access to it. Even in face-to-face relationships, they reveal things slowly, selectively, and only when trust has been built. They separate the personal from the professional with sharp clarity. Not everyone deserves to know everything. And the truth is, by keeping their private lives private, they shield themselves from outside noise, judgment, gossip, and unsolicited advice. They stay in control of their narrative, and that kind of control is priceless. In the end, Sigma males don't stay invisible because they're weak. They do it because it gives them freedom, clarity, and strength. In a world that's always screaming, "Look at me," they've mastered the art of watch closely if you can. If this message resonated with something deep inside you, maybe something you've never quite been able to put into words, then you're exactly who we make these videos for. Drop the comments if you value privacy as power. And if you're ready to keep exploring the mind of the Sigma male, subscribe to Epic Persona, hit that like button, and share this video with someone who walks their own path, just like you. Until next time, stay quiet, stay sharp, and stay powerful.